This is Terrence Andre Banks coming today from Information Age Financial Solutions with a fantastic article I've got from Bloomberg Law. Hotel distress lays groundwork for more bankruptcies in 2023. Everything derives a lot on real estate. It makes up, I've forgotten how much in the terms of the trillions, and especially with the hotels. And a lot of hotels, actually, I thought were doing better after the pandemic was over, but apparently the lag time of things to actually play out is starting to really show its face. As always, I'm going to put a link inside the description. Hotels distress lays groundwork for more bankruptcy 2023. Hotels across the U.S. in the line for a potential uptick in bankruptcies and out-of-court restructurings in 2023 as distress mounts from rising interest rates, staffing costs, and expectations of a mild recession. Parts of the hospitality industry may finally be reaching a tipping point, even after managing to stay afloat over the last 2 years by weathering an unprecedented drop in business caused by the pandemic. Hotel owners and lenders across the country are now increasingly reaching out for help as new economic challenges, including rising interest rates and staffing costs, emerge. As of December, close to 4.1 billion out of roughly 93 billion in outstanding lodging loans are delinquent, according to data from CMBS and analytics from TREP Incorporated. It currently projects about 35 billion worth of these loans to mature this year. Wow. I'm getting a number of calls from clients who are in need of assistance, says Deborah Freeland, a managing director of Eisner Advisory Group, LLC, who specializes in hospitality. Many callers are worried about an operational cost and shrinking profitability in the face of maturing debt liabilities, said Freeland. Some are simply asking whether they should file for bankruptcy. See, again, this is the inside things that many people are not aware of. Some notable hotels like the world's tallest Holiday Inn and Crown Plaza Times Square were already forced into bankruptcy in 2022 after failing to fully recover from the pandemic and keep up with operational costs and debt service. If the economy continues on a course into recession, you're going to see a tremendous amount of stress in the next 12 to 18 months, Friedman said. The hotels that were having issues pre-pandemic are going to have even more issues. Like most other consumer-facing industries, the U.S. hospitality industry limped along through the early days of the pandemic. That makes sense. Relying on government-backed financial assistance and flexibility from its lending base. The industry suffered tremendously from loss of daily revenues over the course of several months. A number of popular hotels in New York City filed bankruptcy in the first 12 months of the pandemic, driven by the drop in business, including the Williamsburg Hotel in Brooklyn and the Martinique in Manhattan. The 805-room Fairmont Hotel in San Jose, California, similarly was forced into Chapter 11 after suffering $19 million in losses in 2020. The full financial effect of it was felt stronger, more accurately, and more devastatingly in the hospitality industry than perhaps any other sector. The owner of the Iron Horse Hotel in Milwaukee said of the pandemic in court papers after filing for bankruptcy in June 2022. While business travel has failed to catch up to pre-pandemic levels, many leisure destination hotels have rebounded with, that's what I thought, rebounded with a surge of travel-hungry visitors since pandemic-related restrictions were lifted. But the environment is changing quickly as inflation pushes operational costs and interest rate increases make debt payments and refinancing more difficult. Okay. Those high interest rates are a killer, said Mark Pagangini. I'm messing up his name. Apologize about that. Managing director of corporate turnaround from Gletzker, Henrich and Associates LLP. You're between a rock and a hard place, at least for the time being. If predictions of a mild recession come true, any additional recovery will be delayed and you're going to see leisure travel coming down, said Friedland. Currently, there are about 155 loans securing hotels that are in distress and about 160 hotels loans due to mature in the next 2 years, said Anmark Singh, associate professor in the Kitts Noble School of Hospitality Management in the University of Denver's Daniel College of Business. Given new economic reality, it's likely that the amount of distress will grow primarily because of loan maturity defaults, Singh said. We're going to see an increase because the environment by which these hotels were securitized is changing, he said. These hotels are not going to be able to pay up. An industry that in large part depends on cyclical travel, many properties could be forced to seek restructuring options sooner rather than later. People aren't bullish on hospitality, said Cohen Resnick, LLP restructuring advisor Chris Kenner, who was seeing a considerable uptick in calls from hotel operators and lenders over the last 2 months. Some hotels may not be adequately prepared for crash shortfalls in the near term. I'm curious to see if that's going to create a flood of filings, Kregger said. Pressure to spend. On top of facing maturing debt and a challenging environment for borrowing, operators of branded hotels are coming under great pressure for brand owners to make capital improvements on the properties. Many hotel franchises were allowed during the pandemic to delay making improvements required under the brand of flag agreements. But now there's an increased demand to complete stall projects like updating lounges and other hotel amenities, said Pognidy, who was hired to lead a bankrupt group that owns and operates the shuttered five-star Wagner Hotel in Lower Manhattan. The flags have requirements, he said. The flags don't want to have tired-looking hotels. Brand owners have generally been taking a more aggressive stance on property improvement, which can require a tremendous amount of capital exposure at a time which revenues appear likely to dip, said Freeland. Worker demands for higher wages are also still affecting the bottom line in many properties, putting acute distress on hotels that require large staffs. The American Hotel and Lodging Association reported in October that 87 of its members surveyed are experiencing staffing shortages at a time when industry wages are at record highs. New ownership. The number of distressed hotels are hopeful they can turn their business around through a negotiated financial restructuring, including these running the bankrupt Holiday in Manhattan Financial District and Milwaukee's Iron Horse. But the bankrupt owners of the Crown Plaza in Times Square are pursuing a potential sale of the company's assets of reorganizing by handing ownership over to the project's mortgage lender. But owners without deep pockets may have no choice but to stay away due to high interest rates and shrinking asset values, which correspond directly in an industry where lenders rely on loan-to-value ratios. An increase in Chapter 11 filings or out-of-court restructurings could give lenders with collateral and hotel property a real gut check over whether they want to take over running a strongly hotel business in a climate of high interest rates or more to another resolution, says Kreger. Amid growing distress, it appears likely that more hotel owners will have to walk away. Wow. Again, amid growing stress, it appears likely that more hotel owners will have to walk away or sell to interested parties like private equity firms, opportunistic real estate investors, or hotel management ownership groups. There are numerous parties that are out there interested and well capitalized, Wheeler said. There are also many situations where lenders have sold their loans at a discount, and the new debt owners may have their sights set on selling the property quickly or taking over, according to Pogany. This is their moment, he said. A lot of this waiting stuff is long in the tooth. All right, he said to contact the reporter at BloombergLaw.com. Fantastic article. Again, I thought because of the surge and giving everyone stimulus checks would get more people to go hotel, and that was kind of the image that was being portrayed in the media and everything was going on. But a lot of these different things, these economic headwinds are just showing up. I encourage you to take a look at this article and put the link inside the description. This video has been any value to you. Please subscribe, leave some comments. Until my next video for Information Age Financial Solutions, I'm out.